The Premier League is back. Are you ready? Hello to you, my fellow Gooners, and welcome to Arsenal TV. This is my preview for the Newcastle versus Arsenal game. The Premier League is back and I am so excited because for once Arsenal have done a transfer window where we've been so active. We've identified the areas that we've needed to do, but I am very looking forward to the season that is coming up. So guys, we're going to get into my preview. So I'm going to talk about Newcastle. And what do we know about Newcastle at the moment? Well, we know that this is going to be a very tough game despite their off-field problems that they've got. You know, the change of manager. And you got to remember, this is going to be the first game at St James's Park. And I reckon that the fans are going to be well up for it, especially the Newcastle fans. But as I said, despite the problems that they've got with their owners and whatnot, this is going to be massive for them. They will still get behind their team. Now, as I said, you can't fault the fans. They will always give 110% every game. As we know that Rafael Benitez is no longer the manager for Newcastle. And for me, I think it was a massive decision by Newcastle to sack him. Because I think if it wasn't for Rafael Benitez, they probably would have got relegated this last season. But he managed to keep them up and to get away from that relegation mix. But now their new manager is Steve Bruce. Now, no disrespect to Steve Bruce, but for me, that is an absolute downgrade from Rafael Benitez to Steve Bruce. And the fans, the Geordies, are clearly not happy with it whatsoever. Andy Carroll is now returned to Newcastle as well, and but the rumour is that he is not going to be fit for the Arsenal game at the weekend, which is tomorrow. Now, I know that in recent months there's been protests for Newcastle and obviously Arsenal. Now, a couple of months ago, Arsenal, when it was over at the pre-season, now there was something going on with Arsenal saying we got onto the owner's back saying spend some money, you know, because there was lack of money coming in for us to go and get new players and whatnot. And obviously they've had, you know, Newcastle have had the same problem. But what they wanted to do, Newcastle at that time, they wanted Arsenal to join them and to protest against the owners together. Yeah, that's a massive problem that Newcastle have had. Now, Mike Ashley, their owner, had sold the club, and apparently that Newcastle was going to be this new big thing, you know, the PSG of England, but that hasn't quite gone to plan. So that was a couple of months ago as well. So yeah, it's very tough for Newcastle at the moment. But I feel that this will be a massive game for both sides. Let's get into Arsenal now. For me, I think it is a difficult team selection that Arsenal are going to go for. You know, Ozil and Kolasinac will not be travelling to Newcastle for this game because of security reasons. You know, we all knew about the robbery that happened. So it's all down to that, but I think there's other few things that have happened, but we don't know, you know, the ins and outs of what has happened. Arsenal's new signing, Nicolas Pepe, won't be starting the game. Unai Emery made it clear he likes to bed in new players. You know, he done it with the likes of Torreira and Leno last season. Lacazette could be a doubt. He's picked up a knock during pre-season against Lyon. It was a sprained ankle, I think, but I've seen him in the training. He's walking around fine, so maybe it's not too serious as people may thinking it is. But as I said, Nicolas Pepe, he definitely won't be starting. There is a doubt that he could be on the bench. So yeah, it's very tough for Arsenal at the moment. It's going to be difficult to select the team, but I'll get into my 1 to 11 in a minute. But yeah, it's very difficult because, as I said, you know, Ozil, Kolesinek's missing. Ceballos could start the game. You know, Pepe is going to be missing from the game. And then, you know, David Luiz will be starting most likely. You've got Bellerin returning from injury. You've got Rob Holding returning from injury. And I think what Arsenal could do, I think if we can get past this game and then get past Burnley for the next game, and then time we have Liverpool and Spurs back to back, hopefully our numbers should be back to normal as well. So yeah, so let's get into my predicted lineup. I'm going to go with a flat 4. I'm going to go with the 4-2-3-1 lineup, and as I said, it is going to be a tough selecting this side, but I think I've managed to just about do it. So we're going to start off in goal, and that is Bernd Leno. For me, I think Bernd Leno has been absolutely fantastic, especially last season. You know, we all knew that Petr Cech was good with the ball without his feet, but he's now gone. Leno, you know, he's now our #1 goalkeeper, and he has got the #1 shirt, and I expect the same as to what he done last season, you know, to keep the balls kind of out of goal. But yeah, I'm going to go with Bernd Leno. We're going to move into the defensive area. First off, at right back, I'm going to go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. What Maitland-Niles needs to do, he needs to cut out the mistakes that he's making and stop losing lack of control. I'll go to the Barcelona game where he played the ball back, completely unaware of where Leno was, and the ball went into the back of the net. At the Barcelona game during the pre-season, he had a good first half, but the second half was very, very poor. So he needs to cut out those mistakes in his game. So I'm going to go with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. As the two centre-backs, first off, I'm going to go with the new guy, David Luiz. I think he's commanding, very experienced, doesn't even need to get up to speed in the Premier League because he is Premier League proven. And it'll be nice to see what he can do at Arsenal. Very nice. So I'm going to go with David Luiz. Playing alongside him, I'm going to go with Socrates. I think he was probably the best defender out of the lot last season. Yes, he needs to work on his discipline. But I expect the same, you know, very commanding. And hopefully he could be our captain. So I'm going to go with Socrates. Playing at that left back position, I'm going to go with Nacho Monreal. Simple reason because Kieran Tierney, who probably won't be back not until between 3 to 4 weeks max, maybe. So yeah, I'm going to go with Nacho Monreal. I'm going to move into the midfield area, the two that sit in front. First off, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. Now apparently I've heard that he's going to be captain for this game for Newcastle, and I expect him to put in a captain's performance, show some leadership. Try not to make no mistakes like you've done, you know, in previous games. That will probably lead to a goal, and you need to cut that out. But yeah, I'm going to go with Granit Xhaka. Playing alongside him, I'm going to go with Joe Willock. Now, my reason for Joe Willock is because Lucas Torreira hasn't really had that much game time during the pre-season because he's been in the Cup of Nations recently. So yeah, that's my only reason. I feel that obviously for me, Joe Willock has been very, very impressive during pre-season, and I think he deserves a start against Newcastle. And you know, give him a chance. So I'm going to go with Joe Willock. I'm going to move into the attacking area, the three that sit in front. Out on the right side, I'm going to go with Reiss Nelson. Simple reason, I think he's another player that has been impressive during pre-season, and obviously plus you know, Nicolas Pepe probably won't be playing, so I'll have to go with Reiss Nelson. And another reason would be because we've recently sold Alex Iwobi, so yeah, so that's the reason why I've gone with Reiss Nelson. Out on the left side, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I think that he will definitely start the game and he will cause problems. Again, he's another player just like Joe Willock that was very, very impressive during the pre-season. He was massively at 100%, and yeah, he looked sharp. So I expect the same. So I'm going to go with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Playing in the middle of the three, playing in that number 10 role, I'm going to go with Ceballos. Now, obviously, we know that Mesut Ozil is not travelling to the game. So, I feel that Ceballos is one of the players that I feel that he's had more game time compared to all the new players that have come in. I think Ceballos has been here for, what, 3 weeks now? So, I think he is up to speed with the first team players. And I would have him than having Mkhitaryan. So, I'm going to go with Ceballos. Playing up front as a leading striker. Now, this is where I'm going to take a risk. And I'm actually going to go with Alexandre Lacazette. He hasn't been too bad during pre-season, to be quite honest. The only doubtful, as I said at the start of this video, was that, you know, Lacazette has picked up an injury during that Lyon game in the Emirates Cup. And it is a slight sprained ankle. But as I said, he looks fine during training, so that's why I have gone with Lacazette. So guys, that is my preview. That is my predicted lineup. You know, let me know in the comments as always what you think. Do you agree with this 1 to 11 or not? What you would keep, what you would change, and let me know of your predicted score. So guys, my predicted score, I'm actually going to go with a Arsenal 3-1 win. Guys, thank you to the new subscribers that have subscribed to the YouTube channel. And if you are new around here, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. Make sure you're leaving your comments below. And make sure you're hitting that notification bell so you do not miss another video. Guys, that is my first preview of the Premier League campaign and of this season. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a win on our first game and away from home. So guys, until my next video, I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.